Welcome back to the Ricky Matthews Show from the Citizens Bank Studio. We're in Moss Point today. It's an exciting place. And Cruising the Coast is happening here in full force as the cars continue to pour in here. We're going to go ahead and bring the mayor of the city of Moss Point in, and then we're going to talk about this beautiful, wonderful city that you have the opportunity to be mayor. But it's great to actually be here with you, Rick, after all these visits we've had.
Rick, I'm happy we finally got you to Moss Point. Man, I am so excited to have you here in our city, the River City, Rick. This is River City. You see it back there.
I know it. You heard what Paige and I were talking about. I've described it. The charm of this place is the place where you know your neighbors, and you people here are great, aren't they?
Absolutely. Man, look, Rick, we're so happy you're here and all your staff is here to be to see what I see every day, man. It's a beautiful city. And, Rick, this is really why I wanted this job, because there's so much potential here, and you can see what we are so excited about. You know, there's so many opportunities here. And this Cruisin the Coast is just an example of what can happen here in Moss Point with everybody working together. And we're getting there, Rick. It's a slow process, but we're going to get there.
She mentioned the 3 restaurants that are part of the deal today.
Absolutely, and our welcome center, you know what I mean? Because last year, the people were telling me, Mayor, we need somewhere to eat. We want to shop. We want something with Moss Point name on it. Well, we got that, Rick. We got 2 restaurants, and we got our welcome center open. So people be able to buy paraphernalia with Moss Point on it, cups, caps, whatever they want, and they can eat good while they're here.
As you can hear in the background, the cars are continuing to pour in, and the nostalgia is on big-time display. And everyone, as I mentioned this to Paige, but every one of these people some of them are actually influencers talking to a very large audience. Some are just talking to family and friends, but they're posting pictures from Moss Point. They're telling the story of their experience here. That's what this is all about, isn't it?
Rick, you know, people come here and tell us how much, you know, and I always wonder whether they just trying to make me feel good, but they tell me how much they enjoy coming to Moss Point. And some of them say they'd rather come to Moss Point than any other place. And I believe that now because they keep coming back. Yeah. You know, and they tell us how much they enjoy it. And we talk about we have that really Southern hospitality.
Yes.
It's really here in Moss Point. This is real. We're not faking.
Yeah.
You know, this is real Southern hospitality here in Moss Point. And we encourage all of our people to make sure we show that Southern hospitality.
Right here on the River City. You know, when you think about the potential, but as you and I have discussed many times on the show, the fact that City Hall overlooks this area that we're in now and that it's on the Pascagoula River, that's a unique for downtowns in the entire coast of Mississippi region. You've really sort of staked your claim on the River City for good reason. And good opportunity exists as a result of that.
It is, Rick. I mean, we're blessed. The people of Moss Point is blessed, and I think they don't really appreciate it because they're here all the time.
Yeah.
But if you go some other place and see all the activities in other cities, they're having a nice time, but it's still not like what we got here on this waterfront. So the whole idea for me is to really try to continue to develop that.
Yeah.
Because it could be so much better than it is. I mean, it's good just like it is, Rick.
Yeah.
But it could be so much better with just a little bit more tender love and care.
Yeah.
You know, it could be so much better.
Yeah, I can see boardwalks and shopping and restaurants. And
that's that vision, Rick. That's the vision that we have.
And exciting.
And that's the vision that we're trying to lay out for our people because it's such a great opportunity. Another part of that is giving people a reason to want to come to Moss Point.
Yeah.
You know, this is beautiful, but we can give them more reason to want to come to Moss Point.
One thing that's actually quite real is, as I drove here from Biloxi, which I've obviously done many, many times over the years, but you're reminded how easily accessed where we are right now is to I-10. And then obviously I-10 and this incredible opportunity you have there.
Absolutely.
It's big, and you're focused on that every day.
Yeah, that's our connector. That's our connector. That I-10 63 corridor. That is our growth. That's our growth area. Downtown Moss Point is great. That's our business district. But I-10 and 63, that is where we're really going to grow. That's where we go north of Moss Point to really grow. That's where the real economic development is going to come. So we're working on I-10 with infrastructure. 63, the infrastructure is already there, so we're building up. You know, got 10 car dealerships that's going to be out there in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So that is really growing right now, but I-10 is going to be the big one. And Trenton Airport.
Well, I was literally about to say that. One of the things I've been writing a lot about recently is that regionally, we need to get our economic development act together regionally. Jackson County Economic Development Foundation does a fine job, Harrison County.
Yeah.
But in terms of proactively, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
One of the things that I have written about is that the ports need to be at the table. Mm-hmm. The economic development people need to be all of the airports have to be at the table. It's not. Trent Lott is easy to forget about because it's not in the conversation.
That's right.
But I know it's in your conversation today because it's located here, and the expansion opportunities are dramatic. Then you think about rail access as well.
Right.
I mean, the potential is tremendous.
It is. Just last week, the Chevron had their corporate meeting here. They had 10 airplanes flying to Trent Lott. Well, they used to go into Gulfport. Now they're coming into Trent Lott because it has the runway that can accommodate those trips. So we had 10 airplanes in here on that day, and then along with the other traffic that was already there. I mean, it's great, man. And now these people see that, so that becomes a regular route for them. Whether they're coming into Gulfport, they're coming here. So we need to be in that. So how we can work this together.
Yeah.
Either all these airports, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
If we really gonna be coast one or one coast?
Yeah, one coast.
If we really one coast, then let's talk about it. Look at it that way. So everybody's at the table talking about how do we really be one coast?
Yeah, isn't it cool that Coastal Mississippi Tourism is sponsoring us being here today?
Absolutely.
Just so we can continue to get the story of Moss Point out there.
Because all cities benefit when you do it that way.
You do. You really do.
So much stronger together.
Every mayor has this opportunity to glow as it relates to Cruisin the Coast. What a great opportunity for all the mayors to showcase what they had to offer.
What a vision that was.
It really is.
I was telling Woody that earlier, man. What a vision that was.
Woody is the man.
Yeah, to start this little small concept, and how over time, 96, I think it said they started.
Yeah.
That this thing has grown, and now every city is participating in that.
Yeah.
Look at that togetherness, at least for this one weekend.
Yeah, they'll be
every city has
coming up on the 30th anniversary. They'll be doing another economic impact study.
Right.
And I estimate probably that it's going to go from in the 30 million range to then between the 40 and 50 million range. I think it's become that significant. And again, it's just this unbelievable showcase.
It is.
I had the opportunity. I mentioned to you that about 3 years ago we were doing a live remote in Town Green in Biloxi. I think at one point, the last couple of years, maybe you even came over to visit with us. After the live remote, I walked around with Woody. And the way I described it was sort of like being with Elvis. Everybody knew him. And so what was interesting, so many people knew him from 20-plus years ago. And now they had their kids who own cars. Now it was like being with Elvis. And he's, shucks, you know how Woody is. But what was so important about it is, and this is true here today, there are people who came here for the first time when you had when Moss Point was included in Cruisin. They're back here again and again and again. They get to know each other.
That's right.
A lot of people, somebody from Canada meets somebody from Florida, and now they're friends, and now that's part of the family.
It's become a family affair. That they look forward to coming back every year to see their friends, their family that they've developed over time. And it's such a great thing, Rick. I mean, because it's every community that develop that type of friendship.
They do.
And they telling me, I heard guys tell me the other day that they got a list that grows every year of people they meet, that they come back every year and add to that list and come back every year looking for those people. Yeah. And always add to that list, man. Can you imagine a great... how else can you do this to bring people together?
Hey, listen, Mayor, for people who are watching this on Facebook or SuperTalk TV or YouTube, they see this.
Right.
But for people who are listening, they don't. And I just want to compliment you as normal. Right. You're the best dressed guy in the room.
Well, Rick, thank you, man. I mean, this is what you see is what you get. I mean, this is who I am, Rick. But the whole thing is that, Rick, I always think about how I represent the people of Moss Point. I want to always make sure that I represent them well. But I was doing this kind of dress was before I got this job. But it's all a part of, who I am, and always concerned about representing my family and the people that I represent well. I go back to my mother told me, you may be poor, but you don't have to look like you're poor.
Yeah, and that's sweet.
Okay, so I
Such
always
great, powerful
I kept
advice.
that and I always want to represent my family well, and I want to represent the city that I represent well. So thank you for that compliment, Rick. But
Mayor, one last thing before we end. For people who have not heard us talk before, you're a guy who had careers and retired multiple times. You don't need to be here. In your 80s, you continued to go for it. You ran for re-election and were re-elected. Thank you for being willing to give back at this time of your life. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, I don't have to do this, Rick, but I enjoy what I'm doing, and I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't doing this. I always want to make a difference.
Yeah, well, thank you. You're making a difference. Yeah. Listen, when we come back, we're going to continue the conversations from right here in Moss Point, live today, live remote, with Cruisin the Coast going on in earnest behind us as we talk.
Absolutely.
We'll see you after this break.